5, 6, a 5, 6, 7, 8. This is how you do it. Shoo-ba-dee-bee-boo, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is how you do it. What is up, YouTube family? It's your girl Rari here from VentHer, and I'm here to drop and give you exclusive information on business and credit tips that I wish I knew prior to scaling my business. So stay tuned for this next video where I show you, only you, how to start your business in 2022 using these 11 things. Let's get it. As you know, more content related to business and credit tips, finance, all of those different things that you need to take your levels up is gonna come from this channel. So all I need you to do is take 10 seconds out of your day. It don't even take that long to stop and go subscribe below, okay? Do me that favor, please. If you are here right now watching this video, you probably already have a business started and you wanna know and make sure that you did it the correct way, or you have a business that you plan on starting and you want to make sure you set it up correctly the first go round. In this video, I'm going to show you 11 things that you absolutely must consider and look into prior to starting your business. They are not in any chronological order. However, some of these things must happen simultaneously in order for you to go ahead and get that business started correctly the first go round. Y'all ready to dive in? The first thing you need in your business is absolutely a business name. Wait. Hold on. Actually, that's not the first thing you need. The first thing you need is an idea. What do you want to do in your business? However, after you have that down, you need a business name. Now, your business name is extremely important for a couple of reasons. One, for lendability, right? Lenders do take into account what type of business you have, and they can kind of tell that by the name that you have, but also because you cannot have the same name as someone else in your state. Let's talk about this a little bit. In order to find out if the name that you're interested in is available, all you have to do is check your Secretary of State's LLC name search. So literally what I Google is LLC name search. And from there, insert your state. And from there, I'm able to tell if the name is available for the business that I want to start. You would do the same, right? And from there, it has to be pretty much the exact same name and is in the exact same business, if that makes sense, in order for it to not qualify. If you do have the same name as someone, they will likely deny your LLC. That's why you want to check these things beforehand. And also, when it comes to your business name, you want to make sure that you're using a non-risky business name. What are risky business names, right? Any name that contains real estate, credit repair, financials sometimes, right? Casinos, pawn shops, those are considered risky businesses. So when you include it in your name, lenders are automatically going to assume your business activity based on the name that you have, and that might not necessarily correlate. Like, for example, if you have a business that has logistics in the name, but you do nothing with trucking, a lender might assume still that you do something with trucking just because you have logistics in your name. And that's typically a name that people who are in the trucking industry use. So this is just an example for you to consider prior to you starting this business. So that's the business name. The second thing that you need is a business entity, right? I personally recommend an LLC, which stands for a limited liability company. An LLC is going to create that separation from church and state, essentially that separation between you personally and the business. And your LLC is created with your state. This is a state entity, right? Obviously, everything is governed on a federal level, but this is a state entity. So what you'll do to file that is essentially Google LLC formation or business entity formation, insert your state into Google, and it should take you to the website that is applicable for your state. Now, you want to make sure that it has .sos, which stands for Secretary of State, or .gov at the end of the website. Typically, those are the approved websites for your business entity, anything related to business in that state. Now, if you are filing your LLC yourself, there should be no fees outside of the filing fee, which is the fee that the state charges you in order to create the business. You do not have to pay for a service fee to file it if you are filing it yourself. If you're paying for a company like LegalZoom or all of these other companies that could charge you for it, they're charging you a service fee on top of your filing fee. So keep that in mind, whether you do it yourself to form the business or you get a company to do it for you. Typically with your LLCs, there is a fee to get started, so a filing fee, and then they typically have an annual filing fee as well, which keeps your business active. A little hack that I have that I tell people who are my clients is that if you don't feel comfortable filling out your LLC, There is a place called InkFile who will file it for you at no additional charge. They just charge you the amount for the actual LLC. The thing is that they'll try to upsell you on a couple of different things, such as getting your EIN form, which doesn't cost money, but they'll charge you that as a service fee and charge you a bunch of other different fees as an upsell for you. But you don't need any of those. You can just go get the LLC done at no additional cost, and they will file it for you. You just pay for the cost of the actual filing of the LLC. So that's a little hack that I use if people don't feel comfortable filling out the information themselves. If you all want me to show you a demo on InkFile and how to complete that, drop a little comment, and I will definitely get that for y'all. Now, LLCs are typically approved within 2 weeks or so based on my experience filing in a bunch of different states. But I'm going to now talk about what you need in order to file that LLC. There's a couple of things that you must have. Let's go ahead and get into it. One thing that you need, this is number 3 on our list, you need a business phone number and a business fax number. Now, that business phone number should be a toll-free number, which is a 1-800 number. Now, you could use your personal number if you want, but I personally don't recommend that, especially if you're looking to go get funding, right? When a lender looks at your application and they see that you have a 513 area code, if you're from Cincinnati, a 678 if you're from Atlanta, they're going to think, okay, is this a legitimate business? A 1-800 number assumes that it might be a potential legitimate business. So that'll help you out. I personally recommend Freedom Voice because you can bundle your phone number and your fax number, and it is only $10 per month. So that was 3 and 4. The 5th thing that you need is your business address. Now, this seems to be a very complex thing for most people. If you have a physical brick and mortar location, meaning you walk into the business that you own, that is going to be the best address that you can use. However, for many of us, if you are like me, you work in your home, right? You have an office. You can use what they call virtual business offices in order to suffice essentially for that business address. And the reason why we want to do this is because 2 reasons. From a funding perspective, it looks like you're running a legitimate business. And the second thing is your LLC is all public information. So when you're putting your personal address and things like that, or personal phone number, anybody has access to that. So you want to remove yourself from the public eye as much as possible and have some security with your personal information. So these virtual business offices, they have a bunch of different things kind of included if you want to make a holistic package. If you don't want to go find your business phone number and fax number and all of these other things from other places, these virtual business offices have holistically inclusive packages where you can get your business phone number, fax number. They'll have an attendant who answers the phone for you. It's a couple different cool things. They have mail forwarding services. A lot of those things come included in that office, but it does come with a pretty high price point depending on where you're located. If you're in an urban city like me, you're going to tend to pay a little bit more monthly for those services. Okay, so a couple of places you can look at is Opus, Da Vinci, Regis, and that's it. Now, if you want to take the option of iPostal, I don't necessarily recommend that because iPostal, a lot of lenders do not like iPostal. And I'm setting you all's business up so that you can understand how it needs to look in order to get you funding. All right. I want y'all to get this bag. That's why we're doing it right the first time. Number 6, you need a business email, okay? An email with a domain. What does that mean? You can do bigbootystacks@gmail.com, thickchicksandflicks@yahoo.net. You can't do those things, okay? Excuse me. If any kids are, I'm sorry. Let's just take this back. No, but for real. You need to put something like info@yourbusinessname.com. When you purchase a domain, you're buying the rights of that domain. So you own that. So whatever your business name is replaces the domain. If you're using Gmail owns that. Google owns that domain. If you're using @yahoo.com, Yahoo owns that domain. So we want to own our domain, which is why my email, for example, is support@vendher.co. I own that domain. So you really only have to pay around $6 per month to actually own your domain, depending on how popular it is. And then about $12 per month to actually have the email. Having access to the email and domain are 2 different things. So this is another expense for you to consider. Number 7, you need a business website or a landing page. Now, I want to emphasize this because as a new startup, you might not have a lot of things to throw on a website, and that's totally fine. I recommend a landing page if you have. Now, if you don't have enough information to fill out a whole website. Now, a landing page is much simpler. When you go to a landing page, there's really not much you can do. You don't have a bunch of subdomains, or I shouldn't say subdomains, but subgroups like a about us, home, contact us, merch. None of that is on a landing page. A landing page is very simple. It pretty much is only one thing that a person can do, or you simplify it so that you don't have to make a super complex website. Both of these will work, but you also need to own the domain for that as well. So it needs to be www.whateveryourdomain.com, not whatever your business name is .wixsite, because .wixsite owns that domain still. So again, we're working on legitimacy here and making sure our business looks into the eye of the beholder as a professional business, y'all. I can't emphasize this enough. Couple of different places that you can go. Forgot to actually mention this. For your email, you can go to Google for your domain emails, and for your websites or landing pages, you can use GoDaddy for the domain and for the actual hosting site, right? Because those are two different things. Much like the email, you have two different hosting. You have your hosting site and you have your domain, right? So you can go to GoDaddy for your domain, and you can go to you can make it on Google, you can make it on Wixsite, however you want to make it, right? If you just make a website on Wixsite, it's going to say .wixsite, but if you buy that domain from GoDaddy, you can connect Wixsite and GoDaddy together, so your website will have a hosting site and a domain that looks all legitimate. Number 8, you need your EIN. Your EIN stands for your employer identification number. Now, if you've ever worked a W-2 job, you've always had this number. It's on your pay stubs, right? It's on your pay stubs. It's what a lot of y'all looking for right now, because it's tax time, okay? However, when it comes to your EIN, you need this number for so many different reasons. And I personally recommend that you either wait till your LLC is approved to complete this number, or you do the preliminary research to make sure that your business actually is going to be approved. Like, you can kind of assume whether it's going to be approved or not based on making sure that no other person has your name. So I would assume, based on that you could file for your EIN. Some states actually ask you to have your EIN so that they can actually put that in your LLC application. One example of that is Louisiana. Your EIN is a completely free number. It is filed through the IRS, right? So this is a federal number. LLC is state, EIN is federal, okay? Government. This is going to be filed on the IRS's website, and you need that information that I just shared with you, steps 1 through 7, in order to actually get that EIN completed so that you're not putting your personal information on it. Your EIN is needed for business checking accounts. It's needed for business savings accounts. It's needed for business credit, business funding, loans, hiring people. It's needed for taxes. It's needed for a lot of different things. So if you have a LLC with no EIN, do you have a business? Number 9, you need a business checking account. I cannot stress this enough. You want to go for a bank that works with small businesses. Most of us are small businesses. No matter how large your business is, it's probably still a small business, okay? And they look at that by the number of employees you have, which I think is if it's under 500, and also the revenue that you're bringing in. Now, when it comes to that business checking account, that was just a little side note. That business checking account, you want to file this as soon as you get an LLC and an EIN. Not file, but open one. The reason why is because for some banks, they age your LLC or your business based on the time that you opened up the account with them. So let's say that your LLC is 2 years old. However, because you just opened up a banking account with them, a checking account with them for your business, they're saying that it's literally a month old. But you're like, my business is 2 months old or 2 years old. The reason why they're going to do that is because that's the standard of practice for their bank. They will determine the age. I'm not saying it's right, but I am saying that some banks do that. So the moment that you get this business started, you want to get you a business checking account, and you want to go get one with an actual bank that offers business products. If you go to a bank that has business checking accounts but no business products, you are building a relationship with a bank that does not offer any type of money, business credit, business loans, anything that you could potentially borrow. Why are you housing your money there? You want to house your money at a place where you can potentially get funding, right? Like that's the whole point. We need money, we need credit, we need lines of credit in our business to be able to sustain, so we can borrow that leverage it, and then pay it back using the business's income. If that bank does not do that and offer those things, some banks offer business checking and savings, but they do not offer business products, which is loans, credit cards, things like that. I would not recommend banking with that particular bank, because what are the advantages for your business outside of them housing and making interest on your money? Number 10, when you get that business, you got everything going well, going good. You need to go and get that business placed in every single business directory listing that you can. These business directory listings are like Google My Business, 411, Yelp. It's a bunch of different places that can list your business. And we do this for two different reasons. The first reason is discoverability. You need to be able to be found online, especially if you have a generic name that a lot of people have. You want lenders and people to be able to find you. This increases your SEO, search engine optimization. The second thing is for lenders. They need to be able to find you, right? If they can't find you, this is another thing that they use against us to not give us funding. So you want to make sure that they can find you, and you do that by listing your business in as many places as possible. Now, there are actually people on Fiverr who you can pay who will list your business for you. And it's literally just listing the business information, business phone number, business name, location, address, things like that, so that people know, okay, this is the business I was looking for. All of this matches when they're cross comparing your information across all of the things that you have available online and what you've used in your applications. Everything will add up and make sense. Now, number 11, this is the last thing on my list, but it should be conjoined with the first thing I put. This is your trademark search. You need to be looking to see if your business name that you're interested in, logo, etc., motto, you need to make sure it's not trademarked. I would hate for you to get through 1 through 10 and then you build up this fantastic business, but you realize that somebody else trademarked your name or somebody else trademarked your logo. This means that you're not really able to use that logo in the same ways and make money for it because somebody else owns the rights and the permissions to that. Now, it needs to be, it's a lot of different layers, so I definitely recommend that you consult with a trademark attorney or someone who is more of a qualified professional in that lane than I am. However, this is one of the first things I always do. I wanted to put it at the end because I wanted you all to know the core information that you needed. But the trademark is equally important. There have been so many businesses shut down because they have not paid attention to trademark law and what is infringement of trademark. So I want you all to make sure when you're looking up that business name, you're also going to the United States Patent and Trademark Office, something like that, USPTO. Go there, search to see if what logos exist, what names exist for the business that you are interested in starting. So you know, okay, I should look for a different name because somebody already has this trademarked. So in closing, y'all, all of this stuff is a scam. It's just so, like, it should not be this difficult to start a business. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all now. It's not really a scam, but there are a lot of components, a lot of things that we didn't even get into, like operating agreements, payroll, contracts. It's a lot of different things that go into actually creating a business, starting a business. However, I want you all to just slowly chip away at these things one thing at a time. Definitely look at this video. Do not feel overwhelmed by how much you need to get started. I promise you all, from start to finish, all of these things can be done in less than 30 days. Just look at one thing at a time. Just do some basic preliminary information or research to see what you need for your state. I gave y'all more than enough knowledge and gems to go off and run with this. I hope this video was helpful for you. This is exactly what you need to go ahead and have that business legally sound in order to prepare you for funding. Everything that I do and say is through the lens of helping you to make a scalable business. I hope this video gave you more context as to the 11 things that you need to go ahead and get your business started in 2022. As always, if this video helped to encourage you or inspire you to understand more about business, stop, put that thing down, flip it and reverse it, y'all. Make sure y'all go like, comment, and subscribe on this video. As always, I'm Rari from Venher and Negritude. We out, family. Peace.